Well, good morning, everyone. This is MightyStream. I'm excited to be with you today. Glad that I have an opportunity to do the April 19th just for today in a meditation with you. I am brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services program. Hood stands for Hope Offered on Demand. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I look forward to your email and I will respond. Hopefully we can get together and possibly do some step work if you're interested, or talk about anything that's on your mind that you need some input or just a listening ear. I'm available for you. Let's go ahead and get into the Just for Today for April 19th. Hopefully you can see that I'm on a different computer than I normally am, and just learning how to work it. So here we are, April 19th, footwork. So many times addicts have sought the rewards of hard work without the labor. Basic text, page 34. When we first came to NA, some of us wanted everything and right away. We wanted the serenity, the cars, the happy relationships, the friends, the closeness with our sponsor, all the things other people had gotten after months and years of working the steps and living life on life's terms. We learned the hard way that serenity comes only from working the steps. A new car comes from showing up on the job every day and trying to practice these principles in all our affairs, including our employment. Healthy relationships come as a result of lots of hard work and a new willingness to communicate. Friendship with our sponsor comes as a result of reaching out during the good times as well as bad. In Narcotics Anonymous, we have found the path to a better way of life, to reach our destination. However, we must do the footwork. Just for today, I want a better life. I will make an inventory of what I want, find out how to get it, talk with my sponsor about it, and do the necessary footwork. You know, one of the things I think about this particular reading, it seems fundamental, it seems basic, and I find that a lot of times with the readings, if you look at them or glance through them with a minimal of concern, you're like, everybody knows that. Well, everyone knows it, but not everyone can do it. And there's a difference between knowing something and being able to have wisdom. Wisdom is the appropriate application of knowledge. And so you might know it, but it's not until you can apply that knowledge properly into your life, then you display wisdom. Okay, so now we're talking about the footwork, and I do believe that's true. I believe that's true. I believe that people, when they're with someone that has been around for a long time, they're looking at the fruit of the hard work, whether it's employment, teaching, counseling, maybe they've attained a level of doctorhood. That's funny. Maybe they've been hooded as a doctor, right? So it's just kind of interesting that I think in general, people in general do look for the shortcut. They want the fruit without actually having to put a seed in the ground. And I do have some weeds that come up that I never planted. Every now and then, because of a bird or something, I might end up with some mulberries on the back side of my yard, far away from the main mulberry bush, right? So there's this transference sometimes that takes place unnoticed. But in general, you can't get recovery through osmosis and hanging around individuals, and you can get encouragement for your own recovery. But the fruit, right? The ability to become a productive member of society and have society acknowledge you for your value that you bring to that community, that takes time. It takes time. I was having like a very brief discussion with a couple of recovering people, I'm going to stop to share here. I was having a discussion with a couple of recovering individuals last night, and this one particular individual was struggling. Um, they didn't have the type of phone they were used to. They were used to having, a phone that had more functions and things like that. But what they failed to admit or to realize was that for a better portion of almost a year, they didn't have any devices like that. That this phone was an upgrade from where they've been. And it was like, thanks for reminding me. Now, I wasn't trying to be rude or anything, but I was just trying to draw a distinct line so that they could see that they were wanting the fruit of something that comes with hard labor. And that phone doesn't represent hard labor. That phone represented a gift so that a person could stay connected with the people they needed to connect with. Like those things like job interviews, you need to have a phone number where they can reach out to you and you respond appropriately in a timely fashion. Maybe you're stuck somewhere and you have an appointment somewhere else and you're on foot and you need someone, can you scoop me up as you go this particular way? I need help getting to this interview, things like that, right? Not so much the social media things that all of these smartphones can do, but just a basic tool, and that was just a simple example of how we tend to want to take the shortcut. We want the fruit, but we don't really want to deal with planting the seed and all of the labor that goes into it. And that's with anything. We tend to be like that because we have this component of obsession and compulsion, wanting more, right? All the time. But in general, I think people in general want more for less. Otherwise, we wouldn't look for, ads, deals, coupons, right? That's just generally speaking. Generally speaking, we want the results without the hard labor that goes into it. But I was taught anything worth having is worth working for. And you cannot get the reputation of 30 years of hard labor and work in 1 year. You can't get 30 years of reputation of being dependable and trustworthy in the fruit, in the pay that comes with that 30 years of labor. And you just start the job and you on your 90-day probation. It doesn't work like that. These are things that we need to be honest about and say, a lot of the things that I have in my life or don't have in my life are a direct result of my behaviors and my unaddressed character defects, or in a positive note of the beauty and the energy that I've put in. I would like to get into I think like a size 9, 10 would be wonderful for me, right? I'm not super tall, and I can definitely remember when I was like a 7, 8. I think the smallest I ever got in my adult life was a 5, 6, and it was just a little too small, right? It was a little too small for me. It had me thinking I needed to put on more weight to get the look that I wanted, right? So, but in order to even get to the size that I personally want to be, I know that I need to get up early in the morning because I love my family. And I do not like for my family to suffer because of my laziness, right? Or that I just need one more hour of rest. I try to make sure I'm up way before they get up. And if I am going to exercise, that means that I'm going to have to add a whole nother hour so that when I come home, I can still do the things that I normally do to make their mornings go smoothly. I want the harvest. I want the fruit. But man, I think getting up at the time that I get up right now is pretty early. And I'm having a hard time saying, okay, well, you used to get up at 4 o'clock. You used to get up at 3, right? You have your workout done. You would sit in the sauna. You would be done with all of this by 5 in the morning. You used to be able to roll out of bed, grab your bag, your gym bag, grab your drink, your fluids that you need, your water bottle, grab your change of clothes, and you would be out the door at the gym by 3:30 at the latest in the morning and back home by 5. And the energy and excitement that I experienced for the rest of the day was because of the investment long before I encountered another human being. I've been a little bit late doing the just for today, and I saw that yesterday. A few people shared it, but it looked like only one person liked it. And I realized that, getting this done in the morning is very important. Getting it done early is very important because by 8 o'clock, people get busy, and so I need to make some adjustments on that. This little funk I've been in for the last couple of days, is not gainful in any kind of way, right? And I know the source of it. I've been dealing with this for over 30 years, right? April is typically a very difficult month for me, but I've gotten through year after year after year. But some of the things that I love to do have waned in these last couple of days. And I know until the month of April has passed, I am going to struggle with energy, excitement, vitality. And so now I said, okay, if for nothing else, to make sure that your mood does not negatively impact other individuals, you're going to have to do a different type of footwork. You're going to add something that is your go-to when you hit moments like this, right? You need to add a spiritual meditation, a prayer and meditation to your morning routine and your night routine, right? So I know what I need to do, and I know I'm going to do it because it's worked every other year, right? And so I want to encourage you today to look at the fruit that you're looking for and look at the level of work that you're putting into what you say you want. If looking at those two things reveals to you that you are not doing enough, then I want you to itemize one or 1 to 3 things that you're going to do different to make sure that the end game, that end fruit that you're seeking, right? I see no reason why I am not a millionaire. When I look at the gifts and I look at the things that I bring to any setting, I cannot figure out why I am not a millionaire. And I've figured this out recently. I've figured it out before. A lot of times when I start on a project or something that could bring gainful profit, right? A lot of times when I hit a dry spell or too many no's, I get fed up with the no's and I don't press and press because you're going to eventually get the right yes, but you have to stay consistent. And so if I invest in something and I think that I'm going to be able to make money in that, I need to know that you're going to get a lot of no's, but you're also going to get some yeses, and you need to hold on for the yeses. The other thing that I learned about myself is that I wouldn't say I devalue my gifts, but I don't put a price tag on my gifts. Because I'm passionate about what I do, I don't put a price tag on those things I'm passionate about. Because I think that if people truly value what you bring to the table, they should be willing to sow into that, right? They should be able, but a lot of times people think all of that is for free. You're just going about your daily business. Somebody is financing you, And they have no idea, they have absolutely no idea that this is a monetary investment of your own. And this gift that you have is worth way more, right? But you make it available and free, right? So I have learned that while I'm not intentionally devaluing the gifts that I have, I just think that if people don't know, shame on them, right? If they don't know the value of it, right? So I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to follow a few of the millionaires that I actually have similar DNA with. And I'm starting to read their biographies, their autobiographies, because I'm interested in what they have to say about how they got to where they were. And I am upping my game. I'm upping my game. I'm trying to up my exposure in my community, up my exposure in the world that I live in, and how I interact with people. But one thing I know, and I'm just, this is, like I said, it seems so simple, but one thing I know on a deeper level is that in order to continue to put out energy that is going to give you the fruit that you want, you need to be healthy. I don't know if you know, a few people know that I had a surgery last week, Monday, and then I spent, oh my goodness, I want to say it was Monday, but I spent, I don't think it was Monday. I can't remember the day of the surgery. I want to say like a Friday, but it was almost a whole week before I could actually eat again. I mean, everything that could go wrong, anything that I took just seemed like it flared up my pancreas, it flared up my gallbladder. I mean, I was having a bout trying to get my body to take food again, right? And so that was on the tail of 2 different falls, 2 different days, 2 very hard falls, rushing around. And one fall in particular, I did go to ER afterwards. And so I know that there is a sweet science to success. It includes footwork, but part of that footwork is actually nutritional. It's spiritual, making sure that my spirit is where it needs to be, right? Positive, making sure that I'm rested. So these are some things I want you to look at today. The end game, the thing that you're searching or seeking, are you putting in the footwork? And if you feel like there's some adjustments, are you humble enough to make those adjustments? And sometimes those adjustments are just simply cutting off a certain group of people that don't fit into what you're trying to do. They're naysayers, they're negative, they're always looking at the problem side of everything. Listen, I have enjoyed your company today, and I hope that you have a beautiful April 19th. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.